Yes, it's the end of the week. Hot Boy Shane, the Cannibal Mike G. Change of scenery for this one,
We are
folks.
just on location all the time. Every 4 weeks, we're in a different spot.
The truth is, though,
we're vagabonds.
The truth is, today we're going to be talking about a movie called Human Zoo.
Oh, yeah.
Which is all about being in solitary confinement, which we wanted to test ourselves while reviewing.
Yes. So we're in a box.
It's not solitary, we're together, but...
In a box.
In a box.
You might recognize this room from the other show.
Yeah.
From the main attraction.
The
Monday
main
show.
event, as we like to call it.
I consider doing a silent protest for this review. Just sitting here.
And not talking about Human Zoo.
Human Zoo.
I was so excited when you initially told me about this movie. And then I watched it. And that excitement was just like...
Well, here's my theory about Human Zoo.
Uh-huh.
And for the context for this movie, it is what you think it is. It's like people put in solitary confinement like they're animals, I guess, to kind of see how they would.
They should have actually put humans in a zoo with other animals.
I guess they kind of like
bears, rhinos.
They went for more of the solitary prison route.
Yeah, but there wasn't even people. Crack that open for you?
Yeah.
I'll do it this time.
Yeah.
There wasn't even I get there's no, thank you. There's the camera in the corner that was supposed to be people watching, but that's not how you go to a zoo anyway. There's a window and people look at you and point.
Yeah. I think this movie was also putting us in the human zoo while watching it.
I felt like that.
Right? We were trapped watching Human Zoo.
You know what I didn't like though? There was always that ceiling camera. And then, occasionally they would go to, a face-to-face shot.
Made no sense.
How does that...
They started going to those face-to-face shots towards the back end of the movie.
Especially with that one, ripped dude with the beard.
Yeah, it was a bad directorial decision. It didn't mesh with the movie at all. The whole vibe was you're just supposed to see everything through the eyes of,
Let's talk it out, though.
person watching.
How long you lasting in that room?
Okay, so...
I wouldn't go on the show, first of all, because they knew the concept.
Wouldn't.
This is not a concept I would go. I think this is tough. I think I would go crazy pretty quick.
I like interaction. I don't want to be by myself for that long.
Theoretically speaking, how long could you last?
Well, there's nothing in that room other than a yoga mat and oatmeal.
Bucket?
Could you even call it a yoga mat?
No. So honestly, I'm gonna say 2 hours.
2 hours.
So from the food perspective, I'd be fine. I'm so used to eating oatmeal. I don't think that would bother me at all. I think I'm just in my head too much. I would go nuts in that room by myself.
Same. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You put it into perspective. We were also the Human Zoo. This is the first movie I was shouting and I was shouting at the movie. I was losing my mind with the people in the movie because I was
point.
Because I'm why is this still happening? Why is this going on? Somebody please help me.
I wasn't shouting at my TV.
Oh, I
was.
was.
I was certainly angry while watching this.
You're like, is anybody watching me watch Human Zoo?
I'm why is this still going on?
And I texted this in our group
chain
thread.
I thought we called it a group chain thread.
Yeah. This potentially is my least favorite movie of all time. I'm not even kidding. I fucking hated it. I hated it.
On Final Friday, it is a bottom 3 movie of all time for sure.
Yes.
And it is very close to that number 1 spot.
Yeah. That's fair.
What's
I could agree
worse?
with that.
Tell me.
I mean, Veronica is still...
There's some pretty bad movies that we watched.
I still absolutely despise Plank Face.
I would admit an albino spider would have made this movie
way better. Think about this spider in the room with them. That's gorgeous.
I mean, Slaw. Slaw was pretty bad.
They could have made this movie a lot better though. If people had specific things that were bugging them out, I think that could have gotten pretty interesting.
Yes. I also think if this movie had one of these 3 things, a point, an ending, or even the hint of a message. When there was the movie, all right, so full disclosure, this movie just stops. There's a sentence said and the movie ends. You don't ever know anything.
This movie doesn't deserve to be talked about in chronological
order. No, we're not going to.
Can't be. It's just
Thank God.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I thought maybe there would be I don't need like everything fleshed out for me, but I want something. I want like either a motive or like a message. Like beat me over the head with like maybe like a this is how you treat animals in a zoo. This is how. There's not even that. There's nothing. It is a nothing.
The
burger.
dude that's watching on his like MacBook Pro, he's not in the
movie ever again.
You see him one time. He's clearly watching these people.
Yeah.
And he doesn't show up again.
I think our like I said, our guess is supposed to be like this guy is some kind of a researcher this is not a reality game show whatsoever. No. He's just using it to collect data on people who are in a confined area and what happens to them over periods of time when they voluntarily go in, not when they're on like death row or like in solitary or they're crazy.
But what makes no but what's weird is like how does he get away with this? Because,
I have no idea.
Because there's 2 girls that get denied.
Yeah.
There's like one guy who walks off. And then there's 2 other people in the interview process who get approved, but are actually never shown on the camera.
I don't think they knew how to bring that back. And I also don't think they knew how to end the movie.
Clearly.
And I don't think they wanted to bring that back.
Yeah.
So they decided we'll just cut it off.
We'll just stop.
What the fuck was with that shower scene? What was the point of showing that?
I'm glad you brought that up. Why were those 2 fucking creeps? Like, what was the point of them being creepy?
I think it just messes with them, like the psychology of the people that are in the human zoo, because they know that those are the people that are tending to them, and they know that they're not going to help them.
Okay. Because
that's the only thing I could think of.
All right, that actually does make sense.
Are they the ones like chucking the water bottles every day?
I assume so. I assume so. Because
question, you think they get one every like 24 hours on the dot water bottle?
Yeah, I think so.
Oatmeal,
I think
water
so.
bottle. Okay.
I think it's programmed, and I'm surprised nobody because you can't. That's the one thing you can't see is the shoot for that stuff, where the way the cameras are set up in each cell. Nobody attempted to like grab that because they said they could see a hand.
Yeah.
Nobody grabs a hand.
See, and that's what upset me with this movie. No one actually ever attempts to escape.
Exactly.
Everyone just like I don't know.
They
doesn't do anything.
They keep talking about how there's no door. I wish we got it like that resolved. Like, how did they get them in there if there's no door opening?
I think that's interesting. Like how they get them in there. I have to think that there's some kind of secret opening, or maybe the ceiling comes out and they're able to like transfer them into drop them in.
Also, like there's so many questions I'm gonna ask. Like, why are some people's walls look like they're like stone and some people's look like they're just plaster? Why are some people's rooms lit up so bright and some people's are dark and dim?
Why are some the pavement green? Why are some like
what's the rhyme or reason for anything?
What was the numbers? Why were they numbered?
The number I assumed was the number room they were in. So that's how many people were in.
But did you notice one room was like 28, the other one was like 1,000
something?
Yeah.
I think it was a number. I think of the.
Are you telling me there's 1,000 fucking rooms in this place?
Those are the
That's
numbers.
what I was buying into.
Those are the numbers of the people.
Also, the one dude keeps talking about his family. His family's not going to come looking for him.
Okay, and that, to be fair to the movie, that's something they explained.
Did they?
Yes, they said.
I was probably so angry.
They weren't given a location of where they were going. They were just taken without knowing, which is stupid because no person. Well, I can't say that. Some people would, but most people are not going to just voluntarily have a sketchy film production essentially kidnap them to an unknown area without anyone knowing. Like, first of all, if that guy's married, his wife's not going to be like, no, I need to know where you're going to be.
Right.
Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So the idea is nobody knows however long people are going to be in this. It's a reality game show that they all sign up for. And the last person that remains, whoever's going to be in the place the longest in the solitary confinement, wins. Was originally $1 million, but we're going to find out it's actually considered to be $2 million because they already got renewed for a second season.
Bitch that comes in and is like, it's $2 million now. Who is she?
I guess she's
Why
like,
is she there?
I think she's like a PA.
Yeah.
Like a production assistant or something. That's what I took it. It doesn't matter because there is no prize. She could have said $1 bajillion and it didn't matter because they were never going to pay anyone.
It was never a game show. Like, I can't seem to find anything to support that. I just think it was an experiment that some guy just like paid to have it.
But that's why I wish there was just like, I don't need everything.
Oh, you're right,
out.
Shane.
I just need an ounce.
I also didn't
ounce.
I also didn't love the way that this movie was structured. Just like by like 30 minutes into the movie, you get the intro, and that everybody is basically put into these like,
Yeah.
these nicer looking cells. They look
Yeah.
like legitimate like psych ward
Cells.
solitary confinement cells. When then they're brought in by these two creeps, all of them to take a shower, which they bag them, and they're obviously everybody's reluctant to do that because they got to strip their clothes. I think it's just to make sure they have nothing on them, or just make sure
I
that
believe
they're
that's what it
clean.
was too.
But also scare them and to let them know. I think that's why I think they had those two guys that were very not cooperative in helping them at all.
So weird. So weird.
And then they were apparently, I don't know if they were put to sleep or whatever, but they were dropped into these. I'm gonna call them. They were like encampments in zoos. They call them encampments.
I almost feel like they drugged these people and then built the thing around them while they were sleeping.
Enclosures. Sorry,
Yeah.
zoos call them enclosures. So I think maybe maybe look like different types of enclosures. You know, some are looking a little bit more green than others. Maybe some are a little bit more grassy.
Maybe.
You love grass.
I do love grass.
You're a
Grass is
big grass guy.
great. Grass is great.
Now we had a lot of different like personalities in this movie.
Yeah,
Had
let's
the-
talk about some of them.
Had the girl who wants to be famous.
Yeah.
Which we talked about. What the fuck movie? The Camp Blood or some shit.
Yeah.
Recently.
There's always one of those who wants to just be super famous. She'll do anything for reality TV.
Had like the nerdy dude and then like the ripped dude.
That nerdy dude probably wins. Honestly, I know he's kind of going crazy towards the end, but he's the only one I noticed that didn't do this.
He was like the Asian guy, was it right?
Yeah.
The social media guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he is the only one who never quit.
Oh wait, no, I thought the other guy too.
Oh, the one
I
with
know
like
who you're talking
OCD.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he never does this either.
He doesn't. He
So
says
those-
I quit, but he never does the symbol.
Yeah, so I guess those are the two guys that didn't do it.
So fun fact, that was actually something I was thinking about the whole time I'm watching. I'm like, what if they aren't released till everyone quits? Because
Yeah.
throughout the movie, you slowly see more and more people quit, and then there's the two guys. It's the social media guy and the guy with OCD. Neither of them ever quit,
Oh, maybe.
but I was like, while I'm watching this, right? I'm like, okay, this is getting overbearing because the movie's like, it's long. It's an hour 50 for a 2B movie. That's a long time.
It feels like 3 times
I was like, okay,
longer.
if this movie has a cool ending or a little bit of a twist, it could save everything. Like if there is like,
Oh, like a pig twist?
anything, yeah, it just needs something. And instead, it's the actress girl who says the last line, I think.
Yeah.
What does she say again?
And we couldn't remember.
I don't remember.
It doesn't even matter.
What does it mean?
It
What's the
seemed like
fucking point of all
was
this?
it like her? Was it like her entrant tape or something?
Yeah,
Like-
it was her entrance tape. I just don't remember what the line was. I'll see if it's on IMDb. Sometimes they have the quotes there. I don't know if this movie is good enough for quotes. No, it's not.
Yeah, but that wasn't the rules that was explained to them though.
No.
Like you're right. You may be right, but they were specifically told that you'd be let go if you did this.
Yes,
That
which
was simple to
was a
quit.
lie.
He can't go on. Shay knows what I'm talking about.
WWE reference. ECW One Night Stand.
Now, the same clothes for men wearing the same thing, the girls wearing the same thing.
And the only difference was the shorts, right? The men had orange and the women had blue.
Blue, yeah.
And the
Blue, like,
tops were all gray
tight
for
shorts,
everyone.
Yeah.
And everybody had different motivations for going in. I know there was one older gentleman who needed to save up money because his business was failing,
Yep.
and he needed to pay for his like a wife's like
Surgery.
operation.
And he was the first one to quit.
Yeah, I actually thought he was going to be one of the last ones.
Me too. I thought the motivation of the wife surgery. Instead, like 2 days in, he was like, I'm done.
Can you snap your own neck? Is that a real possible?
Okay, we
plan?
were gonna we're talking about it now.
Let's talk all over the place.
Okay.
This movie's garbage.
Well, all right, yeah. So that was the old man. Then there's another guy. This guy he's like a very zen guy.
He was my favorite.
He was amazing.
If I had a favorite character, it was him.
He makes some good jokes, and he's very calm. And then he quits, and they're like, "You're punishing me, aren't you? You're punishing me for being the funny guy." And then out of nowhere, he's doing his zen pose, and Steven Seagal snaps his neck. I don't think that's humanly possible. I don't think. You know how like you can't bite through your own tongue because your like brain kind of stops you subliminally. I feel
Right.
like your body can't actually snap its own neck.
To the point of like death.
Yeah.
I agree. What do you think is the worst part of all this? Like shitting in a bucket, not
Probably the
being
smell
able
of
to
shit.
shower, eating bland oatmeal every single day.
No, it's the shit.
Sleeping
It's
on,
got to be the shit smell after a while,
it's a shit 'cause
right?
you can't even wipe
So it's
yourself.
the
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, can't wash your hands.
Yeah, you're.
You could rinse them with water.
Yeah, but
that they
still,
give
then
But
you just
need
have
that
shit
to
water
drink.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You're eating the oatmeal with your hands.
With the shit hands. I never even
Yeah.
thought of that.
I actually think they were giving them water bottles. I think they should have given them water cups.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been more like a zoo.
True. The bottles is very
Some
sophisticated.
dude said the water smelled like piss or something. They might have done something to the water.
It's possible. It's probably piss water.
And then that dude rams his fucking head into the wall.
Oh yeah, the one guy
Yeah.
that the yoga guy.
Yeah, he concusses himself and like he's bleeding and from the eyes.
Yeah.
What? So let's talk about the surfer dude who has the hologram woman he has sex with.
That was pretty cool.
Oh, the guy with the long hair.
Yeah.
With the
I had a
ponytail.
tight body.
Yeah. Why? Like, did he actually just go crazy? Was he just making it up for the show?
I
Like,
think
No, he was going crazy.
he was going crazy.
and he was probably just whacking it.
Well, no, obviously he was whacking it, but he's like, "Yo, that hologram chick you got here." It's like,
How'd you get in here?
It's like, when I get out of here, I'm gonna get real pussy.
that guy was annoying. Very
Dude,
annoying.
did they like crank the fucking heat up to like 100?
Oh, he was
Everybody
sweaty.
is so sweaty by the end of this movie.
I did.
I
Like,
started sweating.
I
was like,
really
"Oh."
like the tough guy. He's so funny. He starts shadow
Oh, the
boxing.
shadow boxing.
Yeah.
He's like, "This is easy. Piece of cake." He just starts shadow boxing.
Who loses their mind first? Who's the first
girl.
ex?
Oh, well, okay. So the old guy is the first ex,
One of the
but
girls
the
is pretty
one
quick
girl,
too.
the PTSD girl,
Yeah.
she actually goes crazy like early on.
There's one girl that thinks she's having a baby.
She's not. She's just insane.
Definitely not.
She was the cat lady.
Yeah.
She had to go home to David.
David the cat.
David the cat.
Which, okay, that's another thing that bothered me with this movie.
Uh-huh.
Like, she goes on this show and she has cats, but she's like, I gotta go home and feed my cats.
So who's taking care of the cat?
Exactly. Why would, even if you didn't know you were going to be forever locked in this room, why wouldn't you have someone watch over your cats? You're clearly going on a game show.
Well, cats are brilliant creatures. How long could they fend for themselves?
As long as their food lasts. Like if you're just in a home and there's a food dish, once the food dish, it's not like going to open the cabinet and pour itself a food.
I think
Like,
the cats know where the food is.
yes, but how is a cat going to
Your
open
cat
the
knows
pantry
where the
door?
food is. I know that for a fact.
She know 100%, and she would sit at that thing and meow it, but she doesn't have thumbs. She's not opening the pantry door.
You're estimating BB.
No, it doesn't have thumbs. It can't open the pantry. It's just like little things like that shouldn't bother me on a movie like this, but they do. It's like when a movie is so bad, even the little things bother you.
I get that.
Now, eventually, people just start straight up throwing their shit and smearing their
I
shit.
think so, and that's where I thought there was going to be maybe a meaning like behind the zoo thing, because like monkeys throw their own poo. It doesn't talk about that at all, though.
I mean, I think that's the idea. Though.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the one dude writes "fuck you" on the wall in his own shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was cool.
I don't think that like monkeys are throwing shit because people are watching them and they're
No, they're not.
confined.
It's
I think
just what they do.
That's what they do. Like, unfortunately, they just like kind of force these people into wanting to smear shit on the cameras. I guess they were kind of like, you want me to like act like an animal, so I'm just gonna like throw my shit around. It's literally all they could do for fun anyway.
The one girl tries to cover the camera
And poop.
with her shit, and she gets like two like
But I
drops
don't understand
on
why
it.
no one just threw the bucket at it.
Try and break the camera, yeah.
Because like then if they can't watch, what's the point?
I would not have smeared the shit. I wouldn't have touched the shit. I feel like that's just so stupid
I'm not
anyway. 'Cause
touching my
you're
own
gonna,
shit.
if it's not smells bad already, it's gonna stink it up even
Yeah.
more. But then I think you're like numb to that smell
Yeah.
at that point.
Well, the one guy says he's like, I even start to like it after a while.
He said that?
Yeah, the one guy said it.
Ugh.
The social media guy actually might be the guy who went insane the fastest. Because the social media guy actually, every time they showed him, was talking to an audience that wasn't watching.
Right.
And he actually never does anything else in his cell other than talk to
Yeah.
himself. Like, I actually think he went in crazy.
Maybe he's a podcaster. Maybe he's got a future.
It's been 6 days. He's still going.
He's talking about like tropes in movies and stuff like that.
Wild. The Asian guy never gets the hot girl or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's talking about tropes.
Did we base everything? Get all those bases? I'm surprised we've talked this long about this fucking.
To be fair, because there's a
Garbage movie.
lot to talk about with it in terms of like the character. There's not a lot to talk about the movie. It's like, does that make sense?
Yo,
There's characters, but there's no like plot.
Right.
But they didn't balance the character interactions. I feel like they just focused on a few characters through like a specific time frame, and then you'd see someone from the beginning that you haven't seen in a while.
Right.
And you forgot who they are.
Yeah.
Who
And-
got
and
the most screen time?
one of the girls, I think
yeah.
the main girl with the blonde hair got a lot of screen time. Pregnant girl got a lot of screen time. And then like the
I think the
Shadow-
guy who had sex with the hologram had
hologram had a big shadow boxer had a good amount of screen time. I think those are the primary ones.
Did the OCD guy remind you of the guy from like, I think it's Cube, where the guy's constantly like tapping things, and he's like constantly knocking on the wall.
He's the key.
Yeah, it just kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah, I thought that guy would be like, if this was a definitive game show, he would probably win just based on. I feel like he went into this like with his mind already kind of programmed.
He was ready, and that's like I said, if it is that everyone had to quit. And you don't know when people quit. They might be in there forever.
That's the thing. Like, other contestants don't know when the other ones are going to quit.
I just wanted an ending. That's all.
Yeah, that's the issue. It's
not like what happens. To
I think
these
that's the thing.
people?
They're in the
fucking,
zoo. They don't know.
Fucking die in there.
They don't know how long they're going to be in the zoo for. They're confined.
But that's the thing. I don't even need to. I just needed to know. I guess what the motivation was. Like, I don't know why they did this.
I think they just studied them. I think
I guess.
The more I'm talking about it, I think they just literally wanted to put people in a zoo and see how it would work out. In their own cell, but like I said, there's nobody observing them. They're observing them through
the one
camera.
guy, right?
There's no interaction. Like an animal can see people looking at them.
Because it's almost not even a zoo. Because a zoo is like you go and look at animals. There's no one going and looking. It's just one guy.
See, like the other fucking plank face.
Yeah.
Like the dude that's watching in that movie.
That's playing with dolls, you mean?
Yeah. He's the best part of that movie.
He is.
And the one that's
the
watching
voyeur.
in
The
this.
voyeur. Yeah, because he's only in like two scenes.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I think the issue too is this movie was too long.
It was
a
long.
movie for an hour and 50 minutes better have like
Because it's all
brutal.
it's these people just like incoherently yelling, screaming in their cell.
Yeah.
As the shots just go back and forth from person to person.
Yeah, the movie never strays from that. It's like,
well, that's the thing. There's no the structure of the movie is missing the third act. The first act is learning who the characters are with the interviews and all that. Yeah. The second act is them in the cells, and then the third act is a quote at the end and it stops. Like it's like I felt like I was watching The Devil Inside. It just misses the third act. It doesn't exist.
It is missing.
we do a lot of movies like that where movies just sort of end.
Yeah.
Well, fucking Playing with Dolls is the perfect example.
It literally ends.
It just ends.
But like that movie at least was in the third act. It just stopped mid third act.
But like it's like one of those movies that it was shitty because you hate movies that end like that. But at least like the movie did set up a sequel or isn't like
exactly,
right
and that's fine. Like this movie though, even if it's setting up a sequel, I don't care. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah,
we'll do it because we're stupid, but I don't want to.
Please don't do that to me again.
I mean, if there's a sequel, I mean,
we're gonna do it, Mike. Come on.
Human Zoo.
Mike G, question of the week, real quick at the end. Would you rather have no knees or no elbows?
Oh wait, I feel like that those are both pivotal. Are you saying they're non-functional or they're just not on your body?
Not on the body.
Because then you can't use your arms.
For me, I go no knees because like
Oh, you need to use your arms.
Yeah.
I would go no knees as well. You just can't walk.
Wheelchair around.
Yeah.
And
and think about it, like you can't eat proper with the
you just dive your head into the oatmeal.
Certain people were doing that, like because they obviously
didn't
want to shit hands, so they were just taking a deep dive.
I mean, I think the simulation, if they were gonna go into like a full on, I think they could have made it a little bit more of a zoo element.
Yeah, exactly.
Like throw a fucking ape in there with them.
No, I just give me people watching. Give me just one shot of like what is behind the camera, like who is watching at this point.
and flush that out too. Like not just like going to cell to cell and just like abandoning the one guy, like setting up the whole thing.
At least show me the one guy watching more than just the beginning. Like I want to know. Like there was actually a point in the movie where I was like, maybe no one's watching. Like maybe that's just it. Like I don't even know.
Honestly,
anymore.
could not be. I think the idea was definitely
the guy is the watcher. Yeah.
Think about it. Like I think he just wanted to like see how they would act in an environment where they voluntarily go, and he gets to see them like in these individual cells. Like it is a zoo, but like we can postulate till the cows come home, but we'll never know because there is absolutely zero closure. And I know I'm trying to think. Like, did the director want us to like interpret it this way? But it's too broad. Like, it's too generic of an ending. It's just cuts cold, and you're just left with absolutely nothing.
So with that said, let's rate the movie for everyone.
Before we sign off,
we gotta do the rating.
What's postulate mean?
Postulate, I think it's to think of, to
like ponder.
Yeah.
Conjuring, pondering.
Okay, no.
4, 3, 2, 1.
obviously.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
I actually can't recommend this to anyone.
I can't even fuck around with this movie.
No, I was so bored. Like when you said you were going to show this to your girlfriend, I was like, don't
Please,
don't do that to her.
Not sweet, Caitlin. I can't have it.
Yeah, nah, it's not for anyone. No one should watch this movie ever.
Nobody has watched this movie.
The only thing positive I can say is I did not hate the concept, but the execution, the filmmaking, the story, like
we deal with that a lot. So much bad execution. In the movies we
really
talk
bad
about.
execution. Yeah, it's real tough.
It's that like that meme. They had me in the first half because I'll be honest. After the interview portion, I was intrigued.
Yeah.
It just fell
The
flat.
problem is like that interview portion is only 25 minutes. Like after
and there's
that,
an
it's
hour and 40 of nothing.
I was checking time.
Me too.
Always checking time.
Me too.
Like how much fucking
I'm
longer.
surprised it's like one of those things where like wow, like they could have done so much different and so much better.
Like if this was how you were gonna do the movie, cut 20 minutes out.
There's so much fat. Just cut the fat.
Exactly. Cut the fat.
For the love of God. You know, kazoo like videos are cool though. Like when somebody has their back to like a predator, but there's like glass.
Yeah.
You could see the fucking like, say like a fucking tiger.
Yeah.
Just stalking them. They should have had something like that in this movie.
I honestly think at some point they should have actually just had people watching them or making fun of them or like just like looking at them, and they were like,
just give me something.
Yeah, people on the like maybe they are live
on the internet,
broadcasting
yeah.
it like they did in like one of the Hostel movies. I think they were doing that.
I
or, like,
know
there
they
was people
definitely did that in
watching it.
Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah, they were. They were making
Yo, that's a good pull, Shane.
Yeah,
Proud
so,
of you.
Like it can be done. So, you know what can be done though?
Fuck.
District Queens, the movie we're reviewing next week.
A Racine Robinson story.
I believe so. That is the full name.
Queen Racine?
Yes.
That's what I'll call her.
Queen Racine.
Oh,
What
Should
a
be,
what a heater.
it's gonna be,
Should be fun.
Hey, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, you're excited.
Oh yeah.
We're all pumped. You should be too.
Yeah, you should be. We will see you next Friday. District Queens. Couple of queen pins.
We're all queens around
Queen
here.
pins. I like that.
Latro.
It's like chess, the queen piece.